I think there's an argument to be made of this movie not only playing with the perspective of Mima and other characters, but playing with the perspective of the audience in a way that the audience is almost a character. And then you could use the mirrors to kind of reflect what the audience is supposed to be seeing. Which, again, I don't want to dive into that. It's just more mirror shit.
Join us next week for another hour episode where we talk about mirrors.
Here's our new podcast, Mirror
I
Shit.
won't be here.
Hello, and welcome back to My First Anime Perfect Blue, Part 2. I'm Chris Bailey.
Salvador, also known as Monkey.
And I am Anthony Vaught. Before we jump into part 2, I just want to mention real quickly that this episode does have content from 2 separate recording sessions that were edited separately, and then I just kind of spliced them together. At least I guess that's the best term to use, splice. But I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. You will probably hear us sound different, and that's just because I'm still kind of new to this world of audio editing. But yeah, that's all I had, Chris. If you're ready, let's jump on into part 2.
So she gets the repetition, Rumi shows up, and they start talking. And then it repeats again. But I think it even does I want to say intersperses a little bit of the TV show. But I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, Mima says, "Oh, it's been a while since you came over here." And Ravi's like, "I've been here yesterday."
Right, yep. As we'll clearly see, Mima is starting to lose grip on what's real and what's not.
Yes. But I want to bring some for her specific dialogue, what Rumi says to Mima. Rumi is like, "I've been visiting that homepage, and they've talked a lot about how you've changed your image. And I don't know if you remember Me Mania reading. It doesn't talk about anything about changing images at all. If we're to believe what he reads is true, it's all about how, like, I'm so happy you guys visit me, you know, stuff like that. I think there is some points where, but I feel like she keeps up the status quo on that homepage or whatever, of her still missing all of her fans and stuff like that.
I kind of get what you're saying, but I guess we could interpret that she's not. Oh, is this also the scene where she says, like, hey, you should stop looking at that site?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
She said, like, it's better if you don't look at it.
So you're trying to say that, like, oh, she's just lying to her. She's trying to gaslight her, basically.
I think Rumi's trying to get her to come back to being an idol.
Right.
And then, yeah, that's where she's like, there's no way illusions can come to life. And then she puts her hand on her shoulder and she's like, Rumi? And they're like, cut! But yeah, and then she's like staring directly at the security guard for what... I kind of thought the whole time she had been seeing the guy, and subconsciously she knew who her stalker was.
Uh-huh.
But that's one of the first times that she actually stares directly at him, or we're led to believe that. And then Ari, the lead actress, was like, are you okay? And then she looks back and he's not there.
So the stalker guy is not always there, right?
I think he is. I think he just moves around.
I think he...
I want to say there's some scenes with him being an illusion, but...
Yeah, he's a tough one. I think he's one of maybe the most, like, real parts of the movie, but I think him being entirely real is... I mean, obviously she didn't get hit by the truck with him driving it.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I think he's there.
Yeah, I think he is too.
There's only one other scene I would question, but we'll get to. Yeah, and while all this is happening, we do get the scene where Mima shatters the teacup in her hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that is definitely part of this montage.
Which I'm sure there's much more to that scene that I did not pick up on.
So we realize that she's I don't know what's happening, hallucinations or whatever it is. It happened to back to back. So I put down my notes. I don't know what the fuck is happening. But after that, we get the scene where we see what's it called? Mima is in the hospital, but it's the fake hospital, and they're basically telling they're basically saying, oh well, she went crazy and and she created an alter ego, and the alter ego is killing everybody else.
Is that not later?
No, it's in this scene right here.
Okay, so it comes back later.
Well, yeah. Every time it goes to the this is the first time that we see that the television is almost obviously mirroring what's going on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Because they get introduced, like, I'm pretty sure the Ari, the lead actress, her character's like talking to the guy, saying like, once she's done with the victim, she kills them, and then like we cut to like a picture of the pizza delivery Mima killing the photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what is this scene? What is it?
It's fucking wild.
This is probably my favorite scene in the movie.
This scene
Holy
got me.
shit.
I wouldn't say confused, but it makes no sense to me.
The pizza guy scene, the photographer killing. So here's the thing. For one, I fucking love the way the scene, like, I mean, for one, that thing of like her stabbing with the killer stabbing with the naked shots in the background is like such an iconic shot that I knew about it beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'd seen that shot so many times before even seeing this movie. It's a big shot. But when the writer died, we just got like the implication that he was going to die in the aftermath, and there was a part of me that was like, oh, this is how this is going to happen. And I just kind of had a feeling of like, all right, this dude's dead, whatever. And then it just goes in and pops all the way off.
Yeah, I guess you're right there, because we just see the elevator open and the dude's dead. This time we got to see what the fuck actually happened.
Yeah, and it's...
I think to your point, Monkey, is that I think they showed Mima killing, but it's honestly, at the end of the movie, now we're just led to believe that was the killer. It's not Mima herself.
Right, and one of my favorite parts about this scene is when we do get a third or even second person perspective of, or we get to see the killer, right? Like, we see the pizza guy come in, and for one, he describes him as a pizza man. I don't know if that's important or just translation.
When was this?
But it's what the delivery driver drops the pizza on the ground, and the photographer says something like, "Oh, you're an odd pizza man."
Oh yeah, right before the killing.
But he specifically refers to him as a pizza man.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't know if that's actually important or not, but I think it's worth considering. But we get very, very clear shots of the killer, and he just doesn't have a face.
Yeah, the hat protects. I mean, at the beginning anyway.
No, it's not. Yeah, the hat does, but we get like straight on face shots, and there's nothing there. Like, we should have been able to identify the person had we been seeing through, like, the eyes of the photographer or even the audience's eyes. But I think the fact that they make the killer literally faceless is because we're not supposed to necessarily think it was Mima. We're not supposed to necessarily think it was the stalker. We're supposed to be confused about who this is.
Well, I mean, her hat does fall off, and it is Mima.
Right.
No, yeah. She has the killer hat, like, at the end when they're doing, like, basically when the Photoshop comes in, it's Mima's hair and face. But at the beginning, it is faceless.
Yeah, I mean, when we get to, like, them just sitting on top and stabbing repeatedly, it becomes Mima. And I do think that's intentional, but I also think it's intentional that it was so obscured in the beginning.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
In that, especially since, Mima is not a reliable, not narrator, but she's not a reliable source of information. Because she wakes up, we then get to her waking up the next morning and thinking that she did it. Or not necessarily thinking that she did it, but she knows something is wrong. And then she sees the news story about the guy dying and fucking freaks out. Everything about that murder scene is fantastic. I love the way it's shot. I love the way it's paced. I love the raw brutality of it.
Yeah, I didn't like this. The brutality part.
It's a deeply unsettling thing in a way I appreciate.
No,
and not a lot of things make me feel like that scene did, and holy crap.
Literally, it was... She started stabbing the person, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And she stabbed it in the dick, and I'm like, why the dick? I completely understand why, but why?
Because he photographed her naked.
Yeah, I know that, Owens.
He's a fucking pervert. That's why.
Yeah, still, like, why? But, okay. I understand the reasoning, still don't like it.
I don't know, there's just a style to that scene that...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll stop talking about that scene. I love it. That's it.
Oh, so was the bloody clothes inside her room?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, I think there's a fuck ton to unpack here.
Yeah, I think you're right. You can go first.
Alright, so first thing she does when she wakes up is she looks at her fucking hands. And I think this is the first time we're implied that she's waking up after all of her illusions. And nothing's wrong with her hands from the scrapes. Oh, there's two ways you can take it. Is like she feels like she did something, so she's looking at her hands. Like, what did these do? Or two, she's checking for injuries, because this is the first time, like, the cup, right? She broke the cup, and there's nothing wrong with her hands. There's no blood anymore. She has no bandages.
Yes.
There's no sign of injury on her hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're implied that that was a fucking that was an illusion right there.
What, the cup?
And then, yeah, remember she broke the cup in her hands? This was probably like...
No, I know, but I'm saying you think the cup breaking is an illusion?
Well, yeah, because her hands are not injured at all. She's looking at them right now.
But we don't know the passage of the
nothing wrong
time
with
of
them.
this, though.
Yeah, but I think this is I believe, like I said, we're unpacking. I believe that this is where she actually wakes up.
Okay.
And she's hearing in the background the news of someone dying. And also, we didn't touch on this because we were so excited to jump in, but she had a scene where she was rereading her thing again, the Mimi's room, and she goes, "Well, I guess I went shopping yesterday."
Yep, guess I went to Harajuku.
And that was also like the bag that the bloody clothes are in was the same bag she carried out.
Yep.
Which was like, what the fuck, dude? And yeah, she finds those bloody clothes. And then literally right after that, I think I was so excited about this scene that I wrote, this is written so fucking well.
I did not like this whatsoever, but that's just me.
Oh my god, I loved, like, right here's when I realized that Orange had picked a good one.
The thing is why I realized that I really hate when, the main person, you can't believe the main person.
Oh, my favorite movie of all time is probably Memento. So I'm pretty down with an unreliable narrator.
Man. So she finds that bag of bloody clothes, and then she puts on like some clothes and opens the door, and then she gets just ambushed by paparazzi as she tries to open her door, and they're like, "Oh, they're connected, da 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 da," all that fun stuff. And then I guess if you guys don't remember that, the next scene is she's like real depressed, and everyone's like, "Is she jinxed?" And then like Remy's holding her, and she's about to do another scene, I think. In the thing, she's like getting described, you just killed someone, so make it, make it look good. And there's a screwdriver there.
Mm-hmm. The next scene I really wrote anything for was the scene, like they're filming. We see the same scene like basically twice in a row with the TV show where they're talking about ostensibly, I guess, the end of the TV show, where the main Aries character in the TV show is like basically laying out the psychological diagnosis, and then we see Mima deliver her line of like, "Oh, I'm this person who she's not," which I think
like,
first,
I'm a pop idol, and I'm also an actress.
Yeah, and then we see that exact same scene again, but with her like in the saying what she is in the show.
Yeah.
Which.
Holy fuck! Here we go.
Yeah. First of all, do we think that the first iteration of it? Do we think that was in Mima's head, or do we think that was in Rumi's head, or do we think that's meant to be like a tease of the end?
Just the first one where she's
the
talking
first
to
one
like,
where she's like, "Oh no, I'm Mimarina.
Gotcha.
I'm a pop idol. Oh no, wait, I'm an actress." Because that's obviously not what happens in the show that she's making.
I don't know. At the end of it, they do yell "cut."
Right. But then but like I said, then we see the actual scene from the show where she says, I don't remember what she says in that, but she says different things as the character.
Oh, she
that
says,
she's
"That's
playing,
right.
not
I'm a
the
model."
stuff in reference to herself.
And then everyone, then they get the, that's an interesting. I don't know. I kind of actually took that as them just doing two different takes.
Well, why would they do a take of her using like her real name and her real like life story and stuff?
Ah, I see.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
my
pretty
name
sure
is
she
Mim-
does say
yeah,
like, "Oh, my
she
name
says
is
my name is
Mimarine."
Mimos, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, my name is Mima Kirogoe. I'm an idol or something. Yeah. That scene. I've probably thought about that scene the most since I've watched it.
I mean, yeah, because this is like the beginning of, or not the beginning of the downward spiral, but like we're almost we're working our way to the apex.
Yeah, shit's
Whoa.
about to pop off.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about that much.
Okay, so if this is the Dean sequence like you guys are talking about, I don't know if it is.
Probably.
But I put down, I'm so done with the Dean sequences. And then I think they go on with dream sequence, and I'm like, I'm about to throw my notebook out the fucking window if I'm not, like, I'm so done at this point.
That's funny.
I'm so done.
Because during this thing, I have, this is so fucking well written.
Oh no, you guys fucking love it. I do not like it when my main character is not like truthful. We have discussed this last podcast,
Yeah.
but I do not
you
like
can't
it.
trust the
And
narrative.
god damn, yeah, I do not like it. I don't mind it being a little bit like a little bit like insane, but this is like super like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I think the beautiful part is, like, I have that, this is written so well, and then the exact next note is what is happening. So, I mean, I think
dude.
that's the difference, is I like the confusion.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love the confusion, especially in a movie like this where it's all in service of it, like what it's trying to do. Like, it's not trying to confuse you or be smart or anything. It's trying to make you think about the themes that it's presenting. And this crisis of identity that she's having versus her public image and all that.
Wolf. Let's go in that with the Hardy Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah, if you got nothing more to say of that scene, the next thing I have is her encounter with Eri in the hallway.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which is, I mean, it's kind of just like a wink and a nod that's kind of funny, I think. But also, like, from her perspective, and it's like, that's kind of fucked up to hear from somebody.
Yeah, no, it really is, because she's like, I'm not Toku anymore. And then I think she said, like, there's no way, like, illusions can come to life. or
She
something like
says,
that.
yeah, there is no way illusions come to life. You should stop dreaming soon.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah. I wrote that. I just had to write that exact quote down. But I think the way she says it, or the way I read it anyway, I don't know enough about like Japanese to really get the inflection or emphasis. But I read it as not, hey, you should stop dreaming soon. Like, stop dreaming. I was like, it'll wear off. You'll be good soon. Like, you'll get out of this. And then shit gets bad.
Shit gets real bad. This is actually one time, though, that I didn't like the animation. It was still creepy, but I didn't like it.
Okay.
Immediately
mean?
after Eri leaves or whatever, we get the flash of him walking down the hallway. And I know I am patronizing 1997 animation. But, I don't know. It was kind of creepy looking, but, like, it was so... Like, I was so immersed in the story. And when I saw that scene, I kind of, like, just got a little, like, eh. But
Okay.
then I quickly forgot about it.
Alright, so random question before we enter the scene. So did you guys think it was Ray Ray who was the one that was doing all the killings? What do you guys think at this point?
At this point, honestly, I don't think I was
mean-
really thinking about it.
No, I was not thinking about who was doing all the killing.
Okay.
I was actually kind of leaning into her.
I thought it was Mima, like, after the fucking, what's it called, screwdriver to the dick scene. I was like, it might be Mima. I mean, there was no way that she would know how the guy died, but whatever. So I was like, maybe it's her. I said maybe it's her, but I'm like, I was highly doubtful, but I didn't know who the killer was. Because, like I said, at the very beginning, I thought the stalker was the fucking what do you call it? I thought he was a red herring. Which, I guess he is a red herring into the very end, but he's not the one that's killing everybody.
I don't know when I had the thought, but I remember thinking, at one point I was like, they're both on the same team killing people. Both the stalker and Mima.
Yeah, I mean, that's not exactly where I was. Like, for one, like I said, I wasn't thinking about it too hard. I was taking this much less as a mystery and more just like, I'm going to be along for the ride and think about it later. But also I think it would have kind of sucked if it had turned out to be Mima. But I do like that the stalker ends up being like a double red herring, almost like he's too obvious.
Yeah.
He's actually doing it, but he's still too obvious.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's the one that killed anybody.
I think he killed two.
We'll get to that. I think.
He killed.
I know he ran over that guy.
Oh yeah, he definitely did the hit and run. And I think he killed
Why
the guy
would
in
you
the
say that
elevator
At the
for?
very
too,
beginning.
What would you say that for?
because he taped it to the elevator and then watched her. Like, he taped the article inside the elevator and then was watching her as she went into the elevator.
You can think that like anything you want, but that one was pretty hinted at.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the writer just came out and said no, it was him, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Or it was Remy, right? Yeah, Remy. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, I just thought it was Ray Ray that was killing everybody, but I don't know. I did not see any of the fucking clues that you guys are talking about. But
Yeah, I mean,
if you guys say
I
there
think
is-
there's even some conversations with
Rumi does mention that she tried to get him to kill people too.
or isn't there like we see a scene of him talking online, being like, hey, I did, like, I've done what you asked and stuff like that, and then that's when Rumi tries to get him to kill Mima.
If I did, I know you discussed it already.
Okay.
Okay, you might be right because that would make sense about the pizza guy.
Well, I think as we talked about, that one probably was Rumi.
The pizza guy, yeah.
Really? Because the guy said he looks strange, right? Like,
Yeah, which
Yeah, she was just dressed up. Like, honestly, if you look at Rumi, she's not the most feminine looking character.
I don't think she's.
Don't at me.
I don't think she's like. She's okay. I mean, she's like.
I don't think she's androgynous, but
Yeah, I don't. Okay. I mean.
I also think, like, I mean, I was on this argument and you both convinced me last time that, like, him saying pizza guy was kind of weak and that it was pretty obviously Rumi.
I think.
Yeah, because it's pretty obvious. She said pizza guy, but like that's just because he's a fucking idiot. Because the character was clearly a woman.
Yeah, well, not at the
Wait,
beginning,
how-
but once she gets into like actually stabbing him, it turns into Mima,
Yeah.
which we learn is how Rumi sees herself.
Yes. So it's. No, I don't know. I fucked this movie. I know I'm in the fucking. I don't know what you call it.
Minority.
Yeah, that. I know I'm in that, but like, I just do not. The movie's good, you guys. The movie's fantastic. I do not like this movie. I know it. Let's go on.
Okay.
I hate mind fucks.
Speaking of mindfucks, then I don't think we need to walk beat by beat through this scene, but what the shit? This is the only part of this movie I can't wrap my head around.
Where he tries to rape her?
No, like, okay. Do we think this happened?
What, the rape scene?
That aside, I mean, we don't have, like I said, we don't have to talk about that shit. Do we think this encounter happened?
I do.
Okay. Why was there no blood when she hit him, when she lodged a hammer in his head? There was no blood then, and there was no blood when he was gone.
I don't know.
Well, It makes no sense. Like, what's the point? Like, if this didn't happen, was he just inside her fucking dressing room the entire time?
I don't know. Like I said, this is the only thing where like the lack of blood has to be intentional.
First of all,
I don't know.
Like I said, as soon as the other rape scene happened, I put down in my fucking notebook, one thought on my notebook, I'm so done. I'm so done with this movie after the second rape scene. I'm like, why do we need another one? Why?
Well, so I know two things I want to point up while I'm kind of like side watching this.
Yeah.
I know for sure. Well, I keep saying that. I know that if you have like a really bad cut, like not a cut, like something way worse, there's a chance that it won't bleed. I had a very big portion of my leg taken out, like skin wise, and it didn't bleed.
I don't think that's the point, though.
First of all, I think if someone jammed a hammer inside your head and then pulled it out, you'd probably bleed.
Maybe.
And
But
second,
that's-
I don't
mean-
think that's like most people wouldn't just think that. If you see a wound inflicted in fiction, you expect blood. So from my maybe I'm looking at it too meta, but if someone made that scene and decided there's no blood,
Yep,
and I have to
agree
think
with Owens
why.
on this. Yeah, there's a reason why there's no blood. Because there should be blood. This is no fucking, PG fucking movie. We've seen blood throughout the entire fucking movie. There should have been blood in this scene. I agree with Owens.
And to be fair,
I don't
I'm
know.
still on the side that I think this happened. I'm just, like I said, it's the one part where I don't
Yeah,
I don't
because,
get it. I feel like
in
I'm
the
missing
scene,
something.
She pulls the hammer away, and there's no real sound of it, like, leaving... I don't know, there's no real, like, sound of that hammer coming out of his head. So, it could have been just her hitting him and actually not drawing blood. Because he wasn't there, right?
Right. He's gone
Yeah,
later.
so he may have just been got up and left. So there may have not have been enough... Because I feel like if you get hammered and fractured enough in the head like that, you probably can't run away. I feel like you'd just be dead. But if she didn't break skin, he may just be very concussed.
Yeah, I guess that's a possibility. I thought it went in.
But, okay, and then, well, I want to hear your guys' opinion of this then. So, if that scene didn't physically happen, that's when that's another, they throw in another hint that he says I've been emailing the real Memorine or the whole time, or whatever. So did she just figure that out on her own? Is that your opinion of that? Like, why would they put that in there if the scene didn't happen?
Exactly. I mean, and that's my whole thing with this entire scene of just, if this, then why that? And that's from both perspectives.
I gotcha.
So, I again, I am on the side that I think it happened, and, I mean, you raise a good point. That aside, there's even later when Rumi finds her in the hallway, her clothes are all ripped, and are we supposed to then believe that she did that herself?
Yeah.
So, I do think it happened. I just think it's... I'm stuck on that lack of blood, man. I'm gonna, like I said,
I mean, yeah, it did. I do see, like, because I was kind of rewatching it a little bit, and yeah, that's the only thing I could logically come up with is that he was hit hard enough to, like, freak out, but not enough to cause, like, hemorrhaging, because, yeah, she does go back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch some YouTube analyses of this when we're done and see if anyone's got anything to say about this scene.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're right, though. At the end of it, she says, "Are you sure you weren't dreaming?" That's what Rumi says.
But, which is a great hint into the fact that, they're in league with each other. Once we learn that, Rumi ends up being the villain of this movie, it makes perfect sense that she would try to further gaslight Mima to be like, oh, that guy, this attack didn't happen. What are you talking about? There's no security guard after you.
Rumi's a bitch.
Yeah, Rumi sucks.
It's kind of like when you rewatch Frozen again.
I've never seen
You realize
Frozen.
that the prince is a fucking dick.
I have seen that opinion, though.
It's not an opinion, straight fucking facts.
What's it called? I hate when people said that Frozen is the first time a female character was so strong. Like, oh, she didn't need a fucking prince, whoever it is. Fuck that, dude. I watched Aladdin. Jasmine was just as strong.
I've
She's a
never
fantastic
seen anyone
lady.
ever say that.
So after the rape scene and all this, I put down my notes. I want this to be over. Like, I just want the movie to be over. I'm done. I'm done. It's gonna be me bitching and moaning throughout the entire last part of the movie, you guys. I'm so sorry if you don't want to hear this. Well, you're gonna hear
third
it.
act is so good, man. It's like a holy fuck, and the music during it from like this scene onwards is all like
Oh, dude.
phenomenal.
Here's the thing. Animation-wise, music-wise, so fantastic. Even the fucking reveal. That's what the reveal of this.
Oh yeah,
All of it was so good. Let's talk about it.
All right, I want to start with the fish.
fish. That's pretty. Well, okay. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, Daddy.
I do have a note about fish, but it's much later. But go ahead.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know how much later another fish scene is, but so Rumi drives her back just so everyone's caught up, and she's like, "Rumi, are you there?" or whatever, and she's like, "I have to call Mr.
Tadakoro.
Tadakoro, thank you." And then initially, like, the fish aren't moving or whatever. I think it's just, I don't know why, but and then like when she calls him, and we see both the guard and Tadakoro. They're both dead.
Yeah, and to be clear here, at this point, I think the movie is like jumping around like crazy, right?
Yes.
Just to
but
like add to the disorientation of everything that's happening.
I think so. So it's hard to tell right now because this is the reveal. Is she sees her fish alive and swimming, and then that's when you hear that like that music start. That fucking creepy ass
dude,
music.
it's so good. Oh my god.
And then she opens up that curtain and realizes it's not her room.
Huh?
She opens up that curtain and it's a subway. She actually has a view from her actual apartment.
Oh,
and then she
fuck.
turns around and and then she sees her persona.
Wait a minute. What was
Dude,
the
I
first
totally
part,
missed that.
though? I thought it was the poster that gave it away. Because we saw the poster. I'm like, wait, her poster's not supposed to be on that wall.
But you're right though. Yeah, I didn't even catch that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that-
poster's on the wall.
That I
Yeah,
caught.
and
I
it-
didn't catch the subway thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she opens up the-
Yeah, she has
Because
a
she
view in
sees,
her
I think she
apartment.
sees Mima's reflection initially in the thing,
Oh
which is
shit.
like another hint.
Okay, fuck. Somehow this flew totally over my head somehow. Holy fuck, I feel stupid. So you're saying she's in Rumi's apartment?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I'm an idiot. Holy crap.
Oh wow. I mean, it makes complete sense at the end. Well, she's running away and she doesn't know where to go because she never been there.
Rumi's running Mima's room.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's-
wow.
Yeah.
My mind is blown right now.
That was like absolute epic foreshadowing, and I'm actually let's just take a minute.
Yeah, shit.
Holy
Dude,
shit.
I can't believe I missed that. I feel so stupid.
Well, I missed that he was a security guard, so.
Fair enough.
Oh really?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I didn't know he was a security guard at the beginning of the fucking film. Oh, and then she's like, "Rumi, are you there?" And then it's a new costume. Don't you like it? And then it just
Oh no, Rumi left.
and then Rumi is it's such a good reveal.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh, Rumi went home.
Yeah. And it's great because fuck, it's so good because it is an unreliable narrator movie and we like the perspective is all over the place and it's so weird, but somehow you're still right there with Mima. Like you're asking the same exact questions that she's asking, like it's not presented as reliable. And she figures it out at that exact moment too.
Yeah, I mean, she even explains, like, how do you know me mania? And she's like, I guess that's where Rumi tells her. As Mima, or her, she's like, I guess she'll reap what you sow, and then start stabby.
I tell you one thing. This whole scene was fantastic. Like the reveal of it, like I said, music, all of it, connecting the dots of what's happening. It's just really fantastically done.
Yeah. Dude, the way, for one, if it hasn't been hammered home enough already, the use of
Oh, I just thought of something. All right, so no blood, right?
Yep.
And we see that Rumi has. We're to understand that Rumi has killed Mr. Mimania.
Yep. And Tadakoro.
What if she cleaned up the blood?
What?
What if she got Mr. Mania out of there and then cleaned all the shit up?
Yeah, I mean that's entirely possible, but I guess we don't really have a time frame. Unless, she was like watching from the side and then once Mima leaves, she quickly runs in and does it,
Yeah, it's possible. But anyway, I just had that little.
Which
I had to throw that in before we get too far into this one.
This is nothing. Mimania only had one eye stabbed, right?
As far as I remember.
And did Tadakoro have both stabbed?
I don't remember.
Okay. I didn't notice if that was the case. I just noticed that Mimania had only one stabbed, and the rest had two. Not that it's necessarily important. I don't fucking know, but yeah, dude, this like I was gonna say, if it wasn't clear from the rest of the movie, just the use of like reflections and mirrors to show the truth.
Oh, it's so
is
good.
Like really hammered home in this scene. Every time you see the reflection of Rumi, it's so good, but they still like. I love that they don't. That's the only time we see Rumi. We don't actually see Rumi chasing Mima, and the movement on Mimarine.
So fucking good.
It's so good. Just like weird, otherworldly, floating skippiness. Like, no person could possibly move that way.
Mm-hmm.
She's just, like, gracefully floating down with a smile on her face, chasing her with a fucking screwdriver.
Oh, I love it.
And that fucking creepy music with, like, the...
And then...
So good.
Before, I mean, they have a couple of tussles. We have the whole chase, and...
Okay, so this is where I'm at right now.
Uh-huh.
This chase is fucking bullshit. This chase makes no goddamn sense in this fucking movie. This whole movie, all of it makes sense. Like, all of it makes sense. Like, I could understand how the people died. I can understand how all this has happened and stuff like that. Even though the fucking narrator, we don't understand what the fuck is going on. I understand that. Yes. This chase makes no sense. Fucking Mima is fucking skinny, and she's fit. If you get me, there's no way that fucking Ray Ray should be able to catch this girl. There's no way. We even see a scene where we see Ray Ray in a reflection, and she's tired as fuck trying to catch this chick, and there's nobody in the fucking street. Like, this is Japan. Japan is fucking. I was like, what the fuck? How is this happening in the middle of the fucking night in Japan? Fucking Ray Ray is climbing down fucking buildings, going on roofs, and I mean not Ray Ray, but Mima is doing all this, and we're supposed to believe that fucking Ray Ray is able to do the same thing that Mima can do? No way, no way. I was like, what? How is this even possible?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch. That's kind of just, I think, projecting expectations that we have no real reason to believe.
No, it just blew my mind. I was like, there's no way she's able to, like, it should, in my opinion, I think Mima should have been able to get to safely a lot sooner than what happened in this scene. You know what I'm saying? This is the middle of the night, like, people would turn on the lights and see what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, it really bugged me how long the scene was. Here's the thing, though. The scene, beautifully animated. The music, so great. Everything about the scene is great, but fucking, like, realistic point of view, because, like I said, love this movie, like, but this whole scene made me so mad, because I was like, I do not understand, like, how the fuck this is happening.
Well, that's actually, because you referenced this rant when we started talking about it last week.
Yeah.
And I kind of planted the seed in retort of, like, this is a movie that is in service of its themes and its message above all else. And this scene is exactly that. Like, at this point in the movie, reality is entirely fucking broken. And everything is collapsing in on itself. So
Honestly, yeah.
it's
I could see the argument that there are a bunch of fucking people there, but she just doesn't see them.
all
Yeah.
yeah.
She's lost her shit.
And I don't know anything about like where she lived or if there would be people around or whatever. I mean,
She lives in the apartments, dude.
yeah, but the apartment's where?
Well, Rumi's apartment too.
Yeah, but it's like,
But the point is like, yes, they probably would have drawn attention of people. Granted, but for one, and this is my argument whenever people have trouble with suspension of disbelief, that would be a shitty movie. First of all, if someone just poked their head out and solved the problem. But more than that,
no. The problem is this movie has been super like realistic, even though we have a messed up thing in reality, but like everything in this movie is totally possible, except
Sure,
the,
and
I think
except
no, I
the
think
chase.
her jumping around like that some of that could be possible.
I could not see Ray chasing Mima. Like if Mima's vision is completely clear of where she's going, like she's going, because I don't think she's making up the fact that she's jumping from apartment building to apartment building to the rooftop to the fucking bridge. I think all that is true. I don't think she's making that up. Now I understand the fact that the pop star Mima, I don't know, Mimorine is what you guys were saying.
yeah.
I understand that's disbelief, but I cannot, in my mind, I could not think that like Mima jumping from apartment to rooftop to bridge and all this other stuff. I think that's all completely true, and I cannot see Ray doing all this.
I mean, to be fair, Rumi is bigger, but I don't think we have any reason to believe that she's necessarily like horribly out of shape or anything.
Oh no! I mean, there was a scene in the fucking mirror of her being like super tired.
Yeah, you can be tired
Well,
while
yeah,
doing stuff.
She's sprinting after her. I'd be fucking tired too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That doesn't mean you're gonna give up.
Yeah, especially since, dude, the brain is capable of some
And she's already at
crazy
that point.
shit.
She had already stabbed her twice.
And she's not only that, but she's so far in her delusion that the brain is really capable of pushing your body under the right circumstances.
I just want to bring up that she was stabbed at the very beginning,
That too.
and
Okay.
that does take
I
shit
might
out
have
of you.
missed that. I'm sorry, but that's my whole rant.
Also, I think the main point of it for me is that like it's in service of conveying what the movie's trying to convey, and the reality of it isn't super important. I see what you mean by up to this point, like most of it has been pretty grounded and realistic, and this is definitely a little otherworldly, but I absolutely think it's supposed to be because it is the like make or break scene. Like if Mima loses here, I mean, well, she's dead, but more than that, it's supposed to represent that the internal struggle she's still having. I mean, we understand that it's Rumi, and to an extent, she understands that it's Rumi, but the chaser is still represented primarily as Mimorine, because this is basically the final showdown of her identity. She's, I guess at this point, a fairly accomplished actress. I would have to assume that show is somewhat popular based on how they represent the
Yeah.
main actress.
Even her agent said the next film that he had set up for her is a starring role.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
either
they definitely hammer that point home.
She's popped off because of this. Like she's a famous actor and stuff like that.
But that's what I mean. It's like the two identities are clashing. One's going to go away is the whole point, I think. All right. You got anything more there, Anthony?
Of the chase?
Of the chase until like the wig gets torn off?
Okay, no.
Yeah, so the wig gets torn off. And
she gets stabbed by glass force, right?
no, so
No.
the
Oh,
wig
yeah,
goes
you're right.
inside
wig
the
is over
window.
glass. You're right.
And she just crawls towards the wig and just impales herself on that glass trying to get that wig back.
God, that was such a like gruesome scene. I hate when they do like fountains of blood coming down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that's
that
so
one was
much
weird too, 'cause
blood.
it was like it was just like a blood,
Yeah.
like a real quick pail of blood just spilt.
Yeah, they do that in anime all the fucking time.
But did you see like the face was still Remy split into three because of the glass mirror?
No, I did not. See
No,
that.
I'd miss that. That's awesome.
So yeah, she was looking down, and there's 3 Rumi faces, and then the blood just makes it all disappear. And that's when she I guess she stands up and starts walking toward the road.
Dude, I put down my notes because he was like in the middle of the road, I guess trying to regain her composure, and I'm like, if she gets fucking run over, I'm done. I know I've said I'm done 3 times in this show. I mean, not this show, but this movie. But yeah, I'm like, I had it.
And honestly, to your point though, I do have written down, where the fuck is everybody? It was weird.
Yeah. And then there was a fucking call light, and then Mima saves Ray Ray. Is that what happened?
Yep, Mima saves Rumi from the truck.
Yep. And then now people show up. That's my note after that. Now people show up.
Yeah, where is it before the truck? And you see Mimarine just, she puts, I think, one of her hands down her face. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, is that the bloody hand thing? That's
yes.
Okay, I was wondering where that was at. I guess I missed
so
it.
I think it's right there.
It's a beautiful image though. I mean, it's a fucked up image, but it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, this movie is full of just chef's kiss shots.
Yeah, and even the cinematography right afterwards, right after the people come to help or whatever, the 2 guys that were in the truck. I think there's a solid, I don't want to say 30 seconds, but it felt like fucking hours. There was a solid 10 seconds of just panning over an animated Japan. Just to give you time to think about what the fuck you just saw. And that was so well done, because you just kind of hear sirens in the background, and you're just seeing this kind of, I think it was dusk of Japan, like a light sunset in the distance.
I would think probably sunrise, but...
it does say dusk, yeah, I meant dawn. Wait, no, dusk, yeah.
But, I mean, the chase happened at night.
Wait. The dawn, never mind,
You said
idiot.
dusk and sunset.
Did I? Alright, well, we're redoing this. We're
No,
gonna cut
wait,
it
no,
to this
dawn
point
is
right
sunrise.
Come on, dude. Just keep it in.
here. Yeah.
No, dawn is sunrise. Okay.
Dawn is sunrise.
So we see, okay.
I have already made myself a dumbass in this entire recording. You keeping that shit in.
I'll just cut it to where you're tonally weirdly saying I respect the chase scene.
I agree
And then
with
we'll be moving
everything
on.
Anthony says.
Anthony says.
Do we want to talk about the hospital?
Yes, we do.
Well, I don't think anything really happens at the end of this movie.
You missed a couple things? Or,
Nah, I think it's not.
Are you being sarcastic?
It's pretty much nothing, dude. I think we're done.
You're a fucking dick. You had me for a second.
Dude, no, shit, fucking... Like I said, my last note is literally, what the fuck? And it's because...
God, I think that's mine, too.
Because of the end of this movie.
Oh, no. Mine's, what's it called? I don't understand the visit to the fucking hospital. I don't understand this at all. This woman has been fucking tortured. I don't know for how long. And she visits her torturer in the hospital?
There are many stories of people interacting with people who did, heinous shit to them. Going to see them in prison and stuff. For different reasons, but...
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
Okay, so 2 things. Now that I'm running through the thoughts in my head. One, she says, I'll never see her again. So she's just checking to make sure she's still there, essentially.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, she actually does say that, and then I forgot what my second point was, but yeah, I know she says, I'll never see her again.
Meaning
and then she gives her the flowers.
That Rumi is gone, and she's now fully, basically the Mimarine persona.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they explicitly say that.
Well, there's a bunch of double-edged, I think, meanings in all of this, and I think that would be one of them, is she's actually never going to talk to Rumi or Mimarine again.
Okay, yeah, actually, I see that. That's cool.
Yeah, and I know she brings her flowers every time, so, you always see Mimarine with flowers.
Oh, shit, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and she always brings her flower, based on what we see, the doctor gets handed the flowers, and then later we see Rumi walking with the flowers that Mimarine sees in the mirror, of course. Oh, is this the first time? Yeah, we also see the swap.
The swap?
Because we see Rumi walking, and Mimarine's in the mirror this time.
Oh, right, yeah, because that's
So
what
we get the
Mimarine
reality
sees
swap.
as reality. Or
Yeah.
that's what Rumi sees as reality.
Yeah.
Also, dude, I'm sure there's fucking essays about. Oh god, I don't even want to say this because I just thought of it and I don't necessarily believe it. But if we're led to believe that mirrors always represent reality, and we see Rumi, and then in the mirror is Mimarine, are we now supposed to assume that motif has swapped, or is the mirror still reflecting reality, and is that Mima in the hospital?
I don't know, man, because well, I mean, right when, the nurses are like, there's no way Mima, whatever her last name is here. And then she looks into the rearview mirror and says, no, I'm real.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other part. That just immediately flies in the face of what we just saw.
Yeah. Well, does it?
Yeah, yes, because if we're supposed to assume that mirrors reflect reality, then if you run with the idea that, okay, so the Mimarine we see in the mirror is real and that's Mima in the hospital, but then she looks in the rearview mirror and it's still Mima, she can't be in both places.
Oh, I was thinking of something else.
It's just a weird, fascinating, like, sudden contradiction of the framing device, or not framing device, but the device they've been using the entire movie. They suddenly flip on its head for like 1 second and then go back to using it the exact same way they've been using it.
I'm going to attempt to use my small brain to try to explain this.
Okay.
Or to try to convey my point. But I guess, I don't know if we want to make the hard sell that all mirrors show reality.
But they do, don't they? Up to this point?
No. Because, not necessarily that point, because we see, Mima looks in the mirrors at the subway, right?
Oh,
and
you're
Mimarine's
right, you're right.
multiple times. I think it's not necessarily, I don't think that's the hard point, all mirrors show reality. I think it's that's what you see in the mirror is what you think of yourself.
Okay, that's actually a really good point. Yep.
Because when we see Rumi walking into the mirror and it's Mimarine, and at the end of the movie we see Mimarine looking into and then during the identity crisis we saw
the only
Mima
part
looking. Yeah, go ahead.
The only part where that breaks down off the top of my head is the chase, where we see Rumi in the reflections.
In the chase?
Yeah. We see Mimarine chasing, but then when they run past windows in the reflection, we see Rumi. But at this point, she fully sees herself as Mimarine.
Rumi does.
Yes.
Yeah, and I could think that
unless I guess you could take it to be that she's still in that crisis. She's not fully Mimarine, but she's trying to become fully Mimarine, which is why she's trying to kill Mima. So so she still knows that she's Rumi, but she's just far enough in the delusion, which I guess that argument probably exists. But
sure. And now on the other point I want to add to that would be, I wouldn't say the mirror. Obviously the mirror swaps between who we're looking at, point of view wise. Mm-hmm. The chase could be all set to Mimarine, right? Or Mima. I'm just gonna say Mima. And then Mima sees Mimarine chasing her, but Rumi in the mirror. It's not Rumi's mirror we're looking at, it's Mima's mirror.
Sure, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally get you.
And that could be another point to add.
Yeah, I honestly, I think we could spend another hour and a half talking about mirrors in this movie, so let's not.
When I said when you look at mirror and see yourself how you want to see yourself, I about fucking shat myself.
Yeah, that was...
Putting that point together.
That was a very good point. It's not something I had considered.
Well, I mean, even the fact that it just went to my mind, because obviously you see what you want to see in the mirror, right?
Yeah, and
that's such an obvious point that I can't believe I didn't think of until about 10 minutes ago.
I mean, I didn't think of it until you said it. So,
fuck, this is a good movie.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about mirrors. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to put the thought out there. I think there's an argument to be made of this movie not only playing with the perspective of Mima and other characters, but playing with the perspective of the audience in a way that the audience is almost a character, and then you could use the mirrors to kind of reflect what the audience is supposed to be seeing. Which, again, I don't want to dive into that. It's just more mirror shit.
Join us next week for another hour episode where we talk about mirrors.
Here's our new podcast, Mirror
I
Shit.
won't be here. I won't be here.
We talk about mirrors in movies.
Starting with the first movie, this other psychological thriller, which I believe is called Mirrors.
I'll take your word for it. Shit, dude. The I'm Real is so good.
Oh, nope, I'm real. It's so happy and perky, and you're like, that. Oh, it makes you think, boy.
I'm so glad that this movie arguably ended optimistically.
That's a good use of the verb arguably.
I'm sure there are people who will latch on to every theory we've slightly brushed up on.
Yeah.
I choose to believe that was Rumi in the hospital. That was Mima in the car. She's doing good. Everything's real. She stopped having a breakdown. She knows who she is now. Do we want to talk about public image?
Like in general, in our day and age?
Or just like as a concept being like what... I mean, this movie is a lot about that. This movie is very, very much about public image and how people, like how celebrities present themselves. And like watching this movie in 2020, where everyone is on Twitter and Instagram and shit, can you imagine? I feel like I saw, it's fucking, I saw some shit from Naomi Osaka, I believe is her name. She's like a really young tennis player and apparently just fucking slammed, I think, last year or something. Like, she was the youngest woman to ever win a major tournament or something. And she, like, was posting images of herself in, like, a swimsuit. And people were, like, freaking the fuck out. And she was like, yo, I'm 22. I wear a swimsuit in the pool. I'm sorry I don't fit your image. Like, what do you want from me? And that made me think of this movie so hard.
I mean, it's like, what's it called? That famous, I think she's a pop singer or something like that, but Billie...
Yeah,
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
I was going to bring it.
Yeah, she got so much heat for the whole...
That's fucking wild, dude.
Well, dude, everybody has their image for somebody, and if anybody tells them it's wrong, then they get all hissy-fitty about it.
No, I
Even
know,
if it's
but
a person.
it's just amazing that this movie was made in 97. Like, the internet was barely a thing. And it's still as prescient now as it was then, if not more so.
Dude, it doesn't matter when this was made. Like, I bet this was happened throughout history. Like, I don't think, like...
It's kind of fucking scary.
Okay, so I just want to do this for Anthony. So, as of right now, Anthony, since this is your first animes, what's your ranking between the two? Cowboy Bebop and Perfect Blue?
Oh, don't do that to me. I'm going to piss off a lot of people.
Hold on.
Dude, I know
have
Perfect Blue is your number one.
Before you answer that, I have a
Perfect
separate
Blue.
question for you, Anthony.
Fucking bitch! Why won't you let him answer, Owens?
Because I want to know what's your ranking between grapes and hot dogs.
Between grapes and hot dogs?
Uh-huh.
I don't understand the question.
What, hot
Yeah, there you
dogs are
go.
better, Owens.
They're not the fucking same.
No,
How do you compare
what
them?
would you rather have, a grape or a hot
Motherfucker.
dog?
Alright, I'll answer it this way. And I really, don't want to put that on the record. But if I had to erase one of them from memory, it'd be Bebop of the two.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure Perfect Blue hit your number one, but you fucking love
yes,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Orange is also right. Is I love grapes and hot dogs. So I'm gonna put that out there. I loved both of those, film and the Bebop
Dude,
series.
I'm fine with Bebop being in second place.
But Perfect Blue, man, that was so good. I don't know, Orange may have found my thing, or we've never talked about. Honestly, I don't think me and Orange have ever talked about movies before.
No,
that.
you've told me some stupid shit, but never anything good.
About psychological. Well, yeah, I'm sure we were talking about Wedding Crashers holds up. But
Yeah, that was
I
probably
don't think
something
we've
you
ever-
said, and I'm like, oh.
But I don't think we've ever talked about deep psychological movies.
No.
And I will say before, I even picked the thing that I picked. I was typing in psychological animes.
Nice. For the record, Anthony, you should maybe. I haven't seen it because I have a thing about fingernails, and I know a scene that I do not want to watch. You should watch Black Swan.
Black Swan. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
basically it's Darren Aronofsky loved Perfect Blue, and then he made it with ballerinas Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman.
I'm about it. What a fucking ride, though.
Yeah, it's a.
Okay, so final thoughts on Perfect Blue. Do you guys want me to go first?
I think we got him.
Okay, Owens.
No, I think I'm all tied up.
Yeah, I
Put
mean,
a knot on my shit. I'm good.
I think I've seen a couple other stuff by Satoshi Kon. I've seen Tokyo Godfathers. I've seen Paranoia Agent, and I've seen Paprika. I think Perfect Blue is an easy number one. As much as I love Paranoia Agent, I think Perfect Blue is an easy number one. Holy fuck, this movie.
Or you can go ahead, Sal.
Like I said, everything about this movie is fantastic. Completely not me.
I know Orange went in this knowing who the director was and what the style is going to be and stuff. I don't know what Sal went into or Monkey went into this as, but I didn't even watch a fucking trailer. So this was one of the best surprises I've seen in a long time. And I'm going to stress it again. I think I've said it 4 times already, but what a fucking ride.
I'm excited for you to see more Satoshi Kon.
I will be watching more Satoshi Kon, whether it will be in this podcast or other way.
People also he does Millennium Actress as well, which people I think is like the contention between Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress for his best work, which I have not seen Millennium Actress.
All right, so should I announce my pick?
Yeah, let's talk it. So we're done with Perfect Blue, done with Cowboy Bebop. Anthony gonna watch his first anime on purpose of his own choosing.
Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to
So
me.
we've kind of talked about this on the side. They already know what I'm gonna pick.
I knew what he
But,
was gonna pick before he did.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, dude, just surprise me. Just surprise me, Anthony. I just say surprise me, please. I would watch
sorry.
another one of this director's movies.
It fits so well into like our late 90s kind of style we got going on here.
Yeah, we love 97.
Absolutely, 97 is where it is. So we are going to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Motherfucker!
Blue Angel's Thesis, baby. Let's go. I guess worth noting at this point, none of us have seen it.
Yep, none
Yeah,
of us
yeah.
have seen it.
And I guess going into the same thing that kind of Orange did, the reason I picked this was I have nothing to really go off of, so I'm searching through Reddit and Google and searching like best ones, and this one was consistently up there. And then I also did I went pretty heavy one night and like trying to find the best written animes, and this is just based on other anime fans, so it could be completely wrong. None of us has actually seen it, but this
Anime
kept
fans have
coming
bad
up.
opinions.
I bet. But
I mean, I'm just saying Death Note's like number one a lot of people's things, and yeah.
But this one's way up there. It's got good reviews on all the review places like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and shit like that.
Fucking sheep. That's what I'm saying, Anthony. You're a fucking sheep, okay? Good thing you're not
I-
fucking wolf like me.
kinda-
Wow!
I kind of have to be a sheep though, because I was trying to keep it a secret from you guys for a while. But
Dude, like I said, I knew before you did. We could have never talked about it.
No,
You wouldn't have
I was-
surprised me in the slightest right now.
when I was editing like the other shit, I remember you talked about Evangelion's mentioned a couple times in the previous podcast, and both times it's mentioned like both of you like ha ha ha, it's such a shit show or something like that.
You know what sucks about this? I would probably put money down right now that I'm gonna come away liking Evangelion.
Oh no, I'm probably gonna like Evangelion too, and I'm not gonna be happy about it.
I've spent the better part of a decade insisting that I definitely won't like it,
Yep.
and now I know I'm
with
going
you,
to.
Owen. Me and Owen, though, we finally agree on something, and yeah, I'm like, God, I did not want to do Evangelion. I wanted to wait on Evangelion.
I mean, now's the
God
time.
damn.
We're hitting the important stuff. Next week we can start next series we can start slumming it.
Oh, dude, I got 3 that Anthony's gonna pick out of.
Oh,
Like,
you're gonna give me
I've
the
already
option?
picked mine.
That's
yeah, I already
fun.
gotta pick mine.
Oh,
I don't know if I did this last time for Perfect Blue, but I guess it's worth noting that as far as legal means, I'm sure you can purchase it somewhere. Evangelion is available on Netflix. I know they have an English dub that they did themselves. I don't know if they have the subs.
So I guess to sum it up, next time, or I guess next week, we'll be watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that, of course, is available on Netflix, as we just mentioned. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week. Chris, take it away.
Next time on My First Anime. How much will Sal complain about Shinji Ikari? Will Anthony's first pick be a good one or a dud? Find out next time on My First Anime. Thanks again for listening to My First Anime. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends and leave a review. It really helps. I'm Chris Bailey, and you can find me on Twitter at Chris R. Bailey or hear me play Pretend on the actualplay.network podcast. And finally, thanks to Slink for the use of 12-speed as our intro and Winnie the Moog for the use of Speed Energy as our outro.
You can come to my stream, ST Monkey at Twitch, where the O is a 0 in monkey, so make sure you guys remember that. I play single-player games and multiplayer games. Well, sometimes multiplayer games. Tuesdays and Fridays afternoons. You can also follow my Twitter at STMonkey. Also, O is a 0. And my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly containing dog photos of my dog. He's a poodle. And a Shih Tzu.
You can reach out and contact us on Twitter at MyFirstAnime or email at myfirstaнимepodcast@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined, my personal Twitter and Instagram are both Sir Paperplate, where you will find only pictures of my cat. And once again, thanks for listening to
My First Anime.